What's up, y'all? And welcome back to Dad Needs to Talk. I'm your host, Robert, and today we're going to be talking about Volume 1 of Mama Akuma. So, this series was a very chill, wholesome read. And it's one I just randomly came across a couple weeks ago. And y'all know how I am. I see something that I haven't seen before. I'm looking to it and saw that okay, it's fairly recent release. So first off, the author is Kuzi Shiro, and it's published by Yen Press. So volume one, like I said, came out like a month or so ago, and volume two is actually coming out in a couple of days. I was kind of debating if, especially after reading this volume, if like maybe I'll wait and pick up the second volume and then do kind of like a double volume review or impressions, or whatever. But I was like, you know what? No, let's go ahead and just talk about it now. So yeah, so this first volume consists of basically 10 chapters, but it's more like nine and a half. And the premise of this, and the thing that kind of like got my attention as far as like, okay, this seems like something very wholesome that I need to read. So this guy, the basically the demon, his name is Seer, and or he is a seer, I guess, but Seer, which is they call him Seer, and this young lady, Sakura Masuda. So long story short, Sakura basically she grew up without her mother. It's just her dad and her older brother, and so she basically through research or whatever, she ends up summoning Seer to grant her a wish. Now Seer, he's been around for centuries, and he prides himself on being able to basically having like a perfect record of being able to grant any wish, whether it be, hey, I want to be the wealthiest person in the world, or hey, I want you to help me crush my enemies. Whatever the request is, he prides himself on being the best and fulfilling those requests. Now, when he gets summoned by Sakura and he's just like, yo, what's up? What can I do for you? Tell me your wish and I will make it happen. And she's like, I want you to be my mama. He's like, what? And that's basically how things kick off. And so, like I said, it's just a mix of this young girl, because she's about in fourth grade, if I remember correctly. Do 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 do. Yeah, I think she's about fourth grade, somewhere in that age range. Uh, which basically puts her around maybe like around the age of 10 or so, 9, 10, somewhere in there. So yeah, that is like I said, that is the jumping off point. And I felt like I said, like reading the synopsis of it, and then a couple weeks ago, just funny coincidence. Those of y'all that might not have seen it yet, but I have recorded a show, an episode with Mama Loves Manga, and I felt like it was the stars aligning because on my way home from work, right before we recorded, right before we recorded, something was like, "Hey, stop by your local bookstore and just browse around." And I did, and that's where I came across this. Well, funny coincidence. Uh, when I was talking with Mama Loves Manga during our podcast episode, which I'll put links up here and in the description, all that jazz. Come to find out, she also had recently gotten a copy and read it as well, and she was talking about how wholesome it was, and I was like, okay. Between the premise and then her talking about it, I'm like, okay, I am sure I'm gonna enjoy this, and I did, just because of the fact of, like I said, it is this young girl who basically she spends a lot of time alone because with her only having, as far as like parental figures, she only has her dad, but he works for a manga company, so he's always either coming home super late or working overnight, and so that kind of leaves her and her older brother. But because her brother is older, and because of stuff he has going on with school, sometimes he's getting home later. So a lot of times she's either at home by herself, or sometimes I think what was her, I think Yu Chan, the this teenage girl who's their neighbor, will oftentimes come over and spend time with her, help her with her homework and stuff like that. But she basically was trying to find or needing somebody to help fill that void of not always wanting to be by herself. And yeah, so it is just, like I said, such a sweet and just wholesome series. Of course, I do enjoy, or I enjoyed, like, when the brother came home and then finding out about his sister summoning this demon, and then the brother, of course, is like, heck no, like, get out the house. Like, who are you? You're creepy. No, you're not my mama. you know. And but I also enjoy the kind of, slowly see her trying to get to know the brother and stuff like that. Because there was even like a adorable part where they're playing games together. Which, shout out to them, playing on basically a Nintendo Switch. Because you can see it in the freaking dock. They had the Joy Cons basically. But another one of my like favorite panels was this one, because I'm like, hey, I feel you. Where he's up there talking about, don't touch my manga. When Seer was trying to help him with some stuff, whatever, and he was just like, no, get out my room, don't touch my manga. And I'm like, hey, bro, I feel you, man. That's how it be sometimes. Gotta protect the collection. But yeah, but the other kind of just interesting thing is that despite all the requests and stuff that Seer has done over the centuries, this is definitely his hardest task. Because even simple stuff of like, Sakura was like, hey, help me do the laundry. And of course, he's a demon. He has magic and stuff, whatever. So he's like, got stuff floating through the air. She's like, no, that's not how a mama would do it or whatever. Mamas don't have magic. Do it by hand. And so he's having to do all these different things by hand. And so, like I said, it's just very sweet, very adorable. And just seeing him trying to understand this fourth grade girl and her request for him to be her mama. And what exactly that means and what that entails. Because, there is so much behind, the words of, hey, this is my mother, this is my father, that I feel like, they slowly chip away at with the help of other characters that come around, like I said, the neighbor and the dad and even the brother, just trying to help him understand, what it means to be a mother. And yeah, with that, like I said, it is just a super chill but heartwarming and wholesome series. That is all I can say, and I am definitely very excited to pick up the next volume, because I am definitely very interested. I read like a little bit of the synopsis for volume 2, to where it was basically talking about how another demon shows up, I guess from like the organization whatever that he's with, and basically coming to investigate, like, hey, what is taking so long for him to fulfill this request? So that has my interest piqued for sure. But yeah, and on the back you see the dad and then the brother there playing with the Switch controller. But yeah, but like I said, I highly recommend it. Like I said, it is volume 1's out now. Volume 2's coming out in a matter of days. Published by Yen Press. So yeah, go check it out. And if you already have, let me know what your thoughts of the series so far is. Are you liking it, or do you plan? If you have already read the first volume, do you plan on continuing to read it? And yeah, like I said, I just want to just kind of keep this nice and short, because it is a nice chilly Saturday morning right now. and just doing my dad duties. About to take my daughter to track practice in a couple minutes, so I'm about to head out. But as always, thank you for listening and watching. If you're not already, make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you'll get more manga reviews and thoughts on different anime, video games, and hearing stories about fatherhood. So make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe to the podcast feed on all podcast services. And yeah, just be on the lookout for more. Y'all be easy. Go read some wholesomeness. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.